What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cult House. It's your boy, Colie and Sergio. How you feeling? Got my guy.
What did I do? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I am definitely not MD Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the game room. Welcome to Sergio. I am Sergio Sergio. I do have a multitude of other names that Coolio here knows me as from our childhood, but typically I go by Sergio online currently. Yeah, reason why MD Nice is not here today, he's actually doing a family thing. So shouts out to MD Nice and Mama Degree. Happy birthday, love.
Happy birthday.
But with that being said, you will still see me on the show regardless because I am the tech, and this is again my studio area. So
this is the background.
So until we can get this man his own studio, this is where we'll be.
This is the studio.
But if you guys do want to support our dear boy here, Colie please be sure to follow him on all his social media. Be sure to check out this stuff if you enjoy the content starting today. Be sure to leave comments, likes. Please subscribe to both on Kick and YouTube. And yes, we are on Kick. This is an experiment, but we are doing it because we want to see how this plays out. We want to reach out for a different type of crowd, see what we can pull in. Well, look at you showing off for the camera. But
gotta get my switch come on.
So I feel like we should build this up, right? So by the title, you guys know we're gonna talk about Cody.
Gotta talk about Cody.
But there is one other thing that I kind of want to talk about.
What's that?
So I kind of want to talk about this situation with Damage Ctrl and Bailey. I would like to start with that.
Bailey.
I always want to talk about Bailey. If we listen, from the day she showed up in NXT. She's been my girl.
Okay, you're right.
She's been my girl. Becky was my second pick. And honestly, Sasha was always a toss-up for me, but I did like the way she carried herself and performed in the ring. Charlotte in NXT was good. Charlotte on the main roster currently is questionable. Yeah. And not her style of match. Her in-ring work is still very good. It's just character work?
She needs more sprucing up.
Yeah, like her character work, I think, is something that has been very much something that's always been left to be desired more of. But
Charlotte gotta find Charlotte.
Yeah, but Charlotte doesn't know what Charlotte is at this point because she's been what WWE has told her to be. So if she goes back to her NXT self, I think she could probably maybe find who Charlotte really supposed to be. But
not just Charlotte Flair. Charlotte gotta be
El Elo. Oh, don't worry, she'll be back with her hubby soon. It's already reported.
Yeah.
We already know about that.
She was tearing him down for the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Backstage.
It is what it is.
But
on to my girl. And she'll always be my girl.
So we're gonna start off with Bailey, huh?
We want to start off with Bailey.
We're gonna start off with Bailey. So what about Bailey? What?
First of all, let me start with.
What's the
I called it.
Okay.
Let's start with that. I called it.
Yeah, you did. I mean,
called it.
It was obvious.
It wasn't that obvious at first until they actually had Kyrie come back, and then they actually pushed that whole scenario more when they pulled in Asuka, and I was like, oh, it's actually happening the way I thought it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So not only is she going to get kicked out of Damage Control, but they're going to take it over completely, and then the question finally popped up. Now, here's where we're not sure if I'm right, ladies and gentlemen. My prediction for this whole thing happening was that they were going to kick her out. Dakota was going to end up having to choose sides. Dakota will choose Bailey over the rest of Damage Control. And then the rest of Damage Control being, well, Asuka, Io Shirai, and good old Kairi Sane.
Right.
Will end up becoming Triple Tails 2.0. Now, for those of you who don't know what Triple Tails is actually the original faction that Asuka, Io, and Io's older sister were part of back in Japan when Io first started wrestling. Which, to my delight, I finally found the one match I was looking for 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, Io's first match, wrestling with Asuka as her partner. Io used to do this spot back then, where she would do a bunch of, like, Asuka would have somebody in a camel clutch. Io would do a bunch of backflips into a drop kick. The first time she did it, and this is the match that I found. The first time she did it, she whipped it so hard. And to make it worse, everybody laughed. And Asuka was bawling. She was still had the camel clutch on perfectly. Right. She didn't loosen up or nothing. She just started laughing. And you could tell Io was pissed. But young Io Shirai back then, I think, was only 16. Okay. So, you know, what are you going to do to an Asuka?
Nice little history.
Yeah. So, you fast forward to now. You have Kairi, who was tagging with Io a little bit in Stardom before Io and Kairi both left. And then they tagged up again in NXT for a little bit.
Right.
They were very familiar with each other, but they weren't like a real partnership until NXT happened. So now you got this thing where you're pushing the three of them as being friends. I feel like that is the notion that you go with. You just make it the three of them only. And I know, technically speaking, WWE cannot use the name Triple Tails. I know that they can't technically.
Okay.
But
so is loophole.
What if they use something more along the lines like, I don't know, Kitsune?
Or they just use the Kobushi Warriors.
They could, but because I would want them to have something close to what they actually are, I think Kitsune is a better term. Kitsune being a demon fox with multiple tails. Yeah. So that's how you get around the triple tails thing.
Yeah.
But what does that leave our girl Bailey? So here's what I see probably happening. I don't see her winning at Mania. As much as I want her to, I don't see her winning at Mania. I assume it's going to be a good match. It's going to have a smosh finish. I assume that's our route for Mania with that. Which is fine. Everybody's protected.
Right, yeah.
Then it goes into a whole feud between Bailey and Io for the next couple months until we can get Io her next opponent. So that's Io, Asuka, Kairi versus one Bailey and one Dakota. But how do you fix that? How do you fix that so it's even?
First of all, me personally, that'd be a whole thing. The whole key. Who would be that mystery third person?
So
now, speculating. Not even speculating. Just an idea. Just an opinion.
Okay.
Smartest move would be tossing in Naomi in the mix. Why? Because she's just coming back. Naomi and Bailey, they have a friendship. They have history together.
They have so they have history in the back. For those of you who don't know, like Naomi, Sasha, Bailey all used to hang out in the back together.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely history there, and especially if you watch Up Up Down Down, the whole Up Up Down Down crew, everybody who you see on there, they all hang with each other all the time.
All the time.
It's always been a thing. But for my money, with that, I would counterpoint you with something that you said earlier today. She's probably going to end up getting pulled into the bloodline situation. Because I think what ends up happening is, now that you have The Rock up, this is how you pull Jay back to the fold. You bring in Naomi, and then she makes him remember where his family is and forces him to come back. He doesn't necessarily have to want to. It's reluctant. Or maybe you even use her almost as a hostage in the situation. There's multiple ways to make that sort of situation play out in the story. But I feel like that's what her purpose is going to end up becoming. Quite possibly.
No, if that becomes that purpose, then it only makes sense for the Jimmy and Jay rivalry feud that even happened in the first place. That actually make it make sense. Yeah, Jimmy interfered in Jay's match with Roman when he was trying to become champion.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good start, but to get the feud fire to get the flame feud.
Yeah, get some heat on it.
Have Jimmy kidnap or hold, like we said, Naomi from ransom. Yeah, that can work. But still, we're talking. That's who can be Bailey's third partner. Who can help Dakota Kai?
So
yeah, we have like you said earlier. What's her name again?
Tegan Knox. Team Kit could be reunited. And that would be a good way to pull it. And I know you said, Xia Li and Tegan have been teaming up, but they've only teamed up 2-3 times, right?
Natalia.
Oh, Natalia?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, let's be real. How many tag partners has Natalia had over the past 2 years? Natalia's not really a serious tag person. So yeah, she's literally everybody's. Oh, I'm only here because Natty needs somebody. That's literally what happens with Natalia, essentially. The only person who could have semi-worked out as a real possible tag partner for her was when her and Ronda Rousey were doing it. But you saw how that whole situation broke down. Ronda got bored. Yeah. So,
very quick.
Very quickly. So, that's one option. And I think that's a much better option, right? Here's another option. Xia Li. Xia Li is the one person who I feel like benefits if you put her in the ring with an Asuka or a Kairi. Because, let's be real, nobody on the main roster is able to deal with the fact that she is a full-blown martial artist and throws her body into her moves the way that she does. She ends up having to pull back a lot of her offense, which, it is what it is, right? But if you put her in a ring with an Asuka and a Kairi, people who are used to dealing with those type of situations, being with those type of wrestlers, imagine how much better she'll come out looking. Imagine how much of an impact that would have on her stock in the company. And we all know Asuka can pull a decent match out of anybody on the women's roster. Imagine the match that she could pull out of Xia Li.
Yeah.
My third pick. And this is one that I kind of had in the back of my head. And when I say the name, you'll look at me for a second, but then it might click as to why I'm saying this. Shayna Baszler. Has it clicked yet? Okay, I'll go into the explanation then. So, anybody remember Kairi and Shayna in NXT? Anybody remember how that feud ended? Shayna Baszler would literally be, and especially after how she came up on the main roster, and everybody has to remember this moment because it was one of the moments that pissed me off the most. Because you technically buried Asuka for this moment to do nothing with Shayna. Shayna Baszler got in an elimination chamber with Asuka and choked her out and put her out in 2.3 seconds. The submission specialist Asuka, the all-arounder, the person who should have been able to stand toe-to-toe with a Shayna Baszler, was put out to pasture in less than a minute. Kyrie wrestled Shayna for 30-minute matches in NXT.
Right.
But they were each other's bane. They literally traded off wins. They traded off the title. But ultimately, Shayna was the victor at the end of everything. That's your boogeyman. Io, I think, was the only person to beat her. But that's your boogeyman right there.
That's what I was also thinking about.
Who you got?
Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh, Trap Masters. So, here's the problem. Because, technically speaking, that would be an amazing pick for different reasons in my mind, which would mostly be seeing the chemistry between a Raquel Rodriguez and Io again, because it's been some time since the two of them were in NXT together. When she was still, what was it? She was Raquel, because it wasn't Rodriguez. It was it Garcia? And remember, she came in kind of hot because it was in the middle of a battle royal. That was her debut match. And then her and Io had a one-on-one, and Io put her out to the pasture like she was nothing. I hadn't seen them wrestle since. I mean, that match was filled with some botches back then.
How about that?
And that was on, but you know, thought I told you to put that thing on dildo mode.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Why though? Your shit's weird. So you got years later, Raquel's much better.
That's what happens, folks, when you're a very, very special person.
Very special indeed. So Raquel's more experienced now. A lot of those spots that she was botching then, she's been perfecting throughout her career now. Like, she feels like a big deal when she gets in the ring. Like, a match with her and Rhea Ripley should have been better than what it was, but WWE wanted her to just basically job out the worst way.
Right.
But a match with her and Io now, I feel like would be some of the most beautiful chemistry.
It'd be poetic.
It would be very poetic. Or her and Kyrie. There's I mean, I guess you can't say David and Goliath. Because it's two females, and everybody always has to flip stuff when it's females, right?
I mean, no,
I don't know how
not
to flip
necessarily.
it,
I treat the same. It could be a David versus Goliath.
Yeah. So
I mean, metaphor. I mean,
yeah.
why not?
So David and Goliath, right there, right? Especially Kyrie, because Kyrie's so light. And Kyrie will bump like crazy for you. She will. I just wish she didn't take that bump from Nia that one time. But, you know, that spot was out of everyone's control. Her and Asuka would be the question, though. How would that match up, though?
So, how about let's talk about the whole Rhea Reaper.
Oh, well, if we're gonna mention Rhea.
Ripley.
If we're gonna mention Rhea, then there's one more question.
I keep calling Rhea Ripley because that's my nickname for her. Rhea Ripley. Okay,
listen.
Rhea Ripley. That's your nickname for me. The Rhea Ripley.
Listen. I'm gonna put respect on the name Ripley because I get where she got her name from.
Right. The Rhea Ripley.
But before we go into that, then I'll ask you this question. After they feud, right? And this is a two-part question.
Who?
Bailey Dakota against what we're assuming is going to become Triple Tails 2.0, whatever the name may come up being.
Mm-hmm.
After they feud, here's my question. One, who comes out at the end of that feud as the victor at the end, right? And two, where does everybody go from there?
So, that, obviously, you're going to have to. You're going to have to let Ari win.
So you think Io, Kyrie, Asuka comes out on top at the end of it all?
Gotta let them win. You gotta let them win.
Okay, no, I see that because ultimately you don't want Io dropping the title to Bailey unless there's going to be like a trade back and forth. But even then, you don't want it to do but so much because if the idea is that you're supposed to be building Io up to be a much stronger champion without Bailey, she needs to beat Bailey
Exactly.
at some point. So I can see that. I can see that. Even if it is a smash finish for both times, because we already know at Mania it's going to be a smash finish. It has to be. But afterwards, if whether it's a smash finish or it's straight up, that's the question.
Because at the end of the day, if Io loses to Bailey, right, it only makes Io look weak. Whereas though Bailey don't need to look strong, because she's still gonna look strong even when she loses.
Bailey, I think at this point in her career is one of the most reliable hands in the women's division that you can have, but they still don't do anything with her half the time. Like the damage control thing was the most she's gotten in a very long time. And even then, he was the one eating the majority of the losses.
But it's running its course.
It is. I mean, you're not wrong. But hopefully, at some point, they start to do something with Bailey. Like, for real, though. And, like, start to build her back up as being, like, a real threat in the division.
That's why they need Bailey to lose at WrestleMania. Because that way, it's a strong outlook for Bailey. Only because now there's actual some kind of direction they can build off from that.
Oh yeah.
To continue on the beef between those two.
Yeah, I could see that. Now. So that was the first part of the question. Second part of the question is this. Who becomes Io's next opponent after Bailey?
After Bailey?
After Bailey.
Io, you starting prepper, get it ready. You get it ready for Liv.
You think Liv? I think Liv is a nice filler for you. But I want like her real main opponent. Who's her next big opponent?
Get her Liv because Jade ain't ready yet.
Nah, I think Jade's the one who takes it off her at the end of it all. I think her next major opponent though, and I think this is what will probably happen. And if it happens this way, people remember this moment that I say this. What happens? They start building Shayna back up. Shayna's her next big opponent. That's the one.
I still don't think Shayna's ready yet.
That's why I said I think what's about to start happening, because you notice that Shayna's been killing people in these tag matches, right? I think there's a reason for that. And soon, she's going to drop the tag facade again, and she's going to start chasing after singles titles again. And they're going to start building her up to be the monster that she's supposed to be.
No. It would be WitchCon.
Cool.
I forgot her name. They call it Pitbull. She rolls with the tag team.
Oh, Shorty from Hit Row, BFAB?
Not BFAB. No, she the white dudes.
Oh, Maxine.
Not her. The other ones. The one.
Oh, the Creed brothers.
The Creed brothers. Yeah.
I don't know her name. Listen. I stopped following NXT after a certain point. I know of the Creed brothers from news and stuff. I don't know who she is though. I've seen the pictures of her. She looks. Does she even wrestle?
Yeah, She got called up to the main roster too.
But does she actually wrestle? Like, does she actually like
Yeah.
in ring?
Yeah.
Okay, I like to see some of her stuff then. And maybe I'll go back and check out some of the stuff in NXT just for that, so I can properly educate myself on her.
But yeah, I'm loving the way they pushing the women's division. I'm loving the way they pushing Rhea Ripley. Like,
and since you brought up Rhea, since you brought up Dami Mommy, Rhea. So we all seen this build coming from a mile away. We all know it's gonna be Becky. But I'd like to throw you a what if? It's not Becky. What if that's a red herring? What if that's another story that they're two stories that they're telling within that moment? What if there's a story of Becky having a downward spiral right now? Because she's already lost to Nia.
I mean, she already. How many downward spirals she's going to have?
Well, think about when's the last time she's actually truly had one. You can't say that the Trish feud because think about it. All that's been smosh finishes. She's highly
before that one.
And that's the one that built her back up to being where she is now.
And then the Trish feud, and then now she's going down a hole, another rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean,
she lost to Nia Jax.
Yeah, and here's why I say this. Becky,
and she's great to lose again.
Becky is good at two things. Becky is really good at building people up, and Becky is good at the chase.
Mm-hmm.
She is so damn perfect at the chase. It is embarrassingly easy for her to look so good when she's after the chase. No matter what point in her career, when she's chasing a title, she's at her fucking best. Whether she wins it or not, that chase to getting to that point is always fucking stellar, right? I think you don't do the Mania match with her yet. At least not for the title.
Right.
I think you have her lose at Elimination Chamber. And I think you have her lose to Nia again. To keep that story rolling. I think that becomes your Mania match because then she finally gets her win back at Mania.
There you go.
Then you start building towards her and Ripley. Make it a whole year story. Drag it out for the next WrestleMania if you got to. Or you push it to SummerSlam. Because since SummerSlam is one of the big four, what's a fucking bigger marquee match than Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch?
And then Becky lose to Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam too.
You're right. You're right. She did
several times.
So this would also be, and this would be, and I'm gonna steal one of Becky's old names from one of her promos. This is where Becky Balboa kicks in, kids. Comes and gets that win back. Because that's the one thing about Becky that I don't think most people realize. Most people that Becky loses to, she initially always loses to for a bit, but she will come back and get that win at the end when it matters. When it matters. So I think that's how we play this. That's where I think this is. But then that begs the question: who's Rhea gonna end up facing? Who wins the Elimination Chamber?
Who? I forgot who's in. Isn't Nia Jackson?
Nia and Becky are the only two who I know for a fact are in it.
So, if that's the case, you gotta have Nia Jackson because Nia Jackson is overdue. She deserves another title run.
Okay. So,
but do Nia wins it? No. Because you still need to build that boil. You feel me? Because I swear, because it needs to build that boil. Because you still need that good Rhea Ripley and Becky story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, you're gonna need that blister. What's a good blister? Nia Jax, one of the biggest blisters that you can set up for a SummerSlam triple threat, no holds bar for the women's championship title match. And Nia Jax, or Becky
Okay.
goes over.
So before I touch on the Nia Jackson, I just thought about somebody. Is Alexa Bliss in the match?
She's not even in it. She's not even in WWE at the point moment right
No, she's there. She's been bitching, moaning, complaining that they've still got nothing for her in the back.
Exactly. So she's
It's
not
not that
there.
she's not there.
She's
It's that creative is putting her on the wayside. Like
she's on the
she on the back burner.
yeah, she's on the background. She's on the building block.
She's enjoying nice catering.
Right.
Is what she's doing.
That delicious catering.
You know, the amazement of craft services, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, how I wish.
So
I could just show up, get paid, and just eat some good delicious catering food.
Some people just don't want to sit like that, though.
I gotta do shit.
Shit. Some people just don't want to do that. Like, hell, if I was in the ring, I wouldn't want to. I want to be in the ring. Hell, if I gotta get jobbed out, I'll fucking get jobbed out. But I'd much rather be in the ring than fucking sit in craft services all day.
Yeah.
But
I want to be in the ring too, but if my check is still,
you're the actual wrestler between the two of us.
If my check is still gonna look good, and all I gotta do is sit back and just wait,
you just shut the fuck up.
Just shut the fuck up.
Of course you
and
will.
collect that bread. I'm gonna be there.
Nah, some of us want to get seen though.
Right.
But so
do a little backseat cameo.
but see, if Alexa would have been in the match, that's the one I would pick.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say that is for two reasons. One,
and she got a whole.
even when she's down and out, whenever Alexa comes back, she's immediately the one person that the fans want to see pushed back into the scene.
Mm-hmm.
She has not been for the past 2 years
Right.
anywhere near the title picture.
Right.
And she should be. She's one of the few people.
The fans want. Matter of fact, Alexa Bliss, baby, if you're hearing this, I want the goddess back.
Yeah, yes, Miss Twisted Bliss. If you could go back
I want the
to
goddess back.
if you could go back to being that, can I say the word bitch on your show? No? Okay. If you can go back to being that mean child, that one who was burning people left and right and everybody needed to carry around fire extinguishers every time you spoke on a mic, if you can go back to that person, please. Please. That's like, me personally, I think that's like some of your best work.
That's all we ask.
Granted, I did like...
That's all we ask.
I did like, though, Alexa in the Playhouse, though. I did like that. That was...
Don't get me wrong. I love that.
And that's only because I love watching her range of character work.
But Alexa, when you come back, you need to add the goddess and
or
the Playhouse
ooh, I just got chills thinking about this. Ooh. What, since we're not getting the Sanity reunion, right?
Right.
What if we get a Bliss Cross Applesauce reunion? And before you ask, yes, that was their name in the back, apparently. They never got announced as that, but that was the name that they were going for. Which sounds amazing on paper. To me, I know it sounds childish, but to me, that sounds amazing.
No,
sometimes stuff like that just it tickles me so.
We just do the new Wyatt family and have Alexa Bliss be
the Wyatt Six. I mean, you could technically go with that, but
have Bliss be the leader this time.
I mean, you could technically go with that, but now the question is one, is Bo Dallas still in the company? Which,
as far as I heard, no.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem because he was supposed to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And so was our dear boy EY. He's no longer in the company.
Yeah, but you know what they say, show must goes on.
And they were going to try to get good old Eric Redbeard to come back for this.
And they couldn't get him.
Because dear old Bray is gone.
Right.
And I don't remember who the other two people were supposed to be outside of Alexa. So
you got
other one person,
right? Because I see what WWE is doing right now, and it's not. I'm sorry, in my book, it is not working with Curry Cross and AOD.
So
that's not working at all.
I'm gonna tell you why that's not working.
That's not tickling my fancy.
I'll tell you exactly why that's not working. And the reason why that is not working is because Karrion Cross.
Thank you.
It is.
This man sucks.
Do us a favor. Take Authors of Pain, put them back with Seth. Go and slap some sense in the A-Town down, and put back the Monday Night Messiah group. Call it a day.
There you go.
Done
Call
deal.
it a freaking day.
That, for some reason, that group, which shouldn't have worked, did work.
It worked. It worked.
That one did. So put that back together, please. I will say,
or if anything, you take AOD and you pair him up with CM Punk.
Yeah.
Because and bring back the straight edge society.
But they're not straight edge. That's the only problem.
That's the only thing.
But you could technically make a straight edge society. There's a way to do it, but I got to tell you the people involved
right.
there.
There's a way, but it could be a whole. It got to be a whole new straight edge society. It could be
Nexus 3.0.
something. It could be something. Something besides that pile of crap that they trying to shove down our throats.
Oh man.
And that's why. And that's sometimes that's why I hate. Don't get me started with creators, because that's why I hate about creators sometimes. They like to try to take stuff and just try to shove it down your throat.
Actually, you know the group that they have currently, though. You know how you can fix that group? You just add one other person to it, who balances out carrying Cross's unfortunate not being charismatic enough to carry as a group leader. You add Drew.
Drew McIntyre.
You add Drew. Drew can carry just about anything on the mic. And Drew would make even the most boring leader seem more eccentric.
Yeah. If that's the
with
case,
his mic skill.
That's the case.
That's what you do.
If that's the case, it will work, but not them.
Or
you take Drew. What's it called?
Drew and
my God. What's his name?
Which one?
The one that breaks his fingers.
Oh, Pete Dunne?
Pete Dunne and
Petey Boy Dunne and good old country boy. I'm sorry, Big Strong Boy. That's the nickname. Big Strong Boy Tyler Bates.
And his new partner, yeah.
It's not his new partner.
Well, yeah. Well, you know.
So
here's
what happens.
He's new. For SmackDown, he's new.
Okay, for SmackDown, yes, but technically not new partner.
Right.
But if we're going that route, then instead of putting Drew with them, I would much rather them call back Trent Severin and just put British Strong Style back together on the main roster and let that be a thing. That would be an amazing group to have. They could run in the ring with just about anybody. So if I get my fucking Christmas wish this year and Big E returns at Mania,
watch F-bombs.
Okay, so I used one so far. How many more do I got left? You didn't bring a swear jar.
I
should have, but didn't.
That's gonna be the next thing.
If I get my Christmas wish and Big E comes back and he's able to wrestle again, a Mustache Mountain feud against a New Day?
Oh yeah,
sounds incredible on paper.
Sounds awesome.
And then you got the one matchup that I kind of kept wanting to see that I'd finally be able to see, and that's actually Tyler Bate versus Big E.
Oh yeah,
that's where my money's at. Like those two would be amazing together in a ring.
Now, since you want to bring up Big E, I think it'd be a great person to dethrone Gunther.
For the IC title? For the IC title?
Big E.
IC title?
A great comeback.
It is an amazing comeback.
A great comeback story.
And when he comes back, you hear the all I need is fire, and then no way it kicks in the New Day music. That way Woods ends come out with him.
No, start off this. It's all I need is fire.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
That would be great, right?
Do it, WWE. You booked it better than you already. Do it. Paul. Do it.
Paul, Mr. Paul Levac. Yes, I'm calling by your damn government. First and last name, Paul Levac.
Papa H. Papa H. If
Paul
you could just,
Levac.
you got the suggestion now. And this is coming from another wrestler. You've got the suggestion now.
If you need some new writers, I got you guys.
I got you.
Guys.
I got you.
You sitting here firsthand, you hear how we can.
Got you.
Come on,
We got you.
on us. Give us a writer deal.
I don't want to rate.
I don't have to rush. I can sit back and formulate plans and ideas.
I don't want to actually write, but I will work in creative. But
I don't want to write either.
we don't want to, but we will if it helps the business.
What's best for business?
What's best for business? So
Ain't that what you said with that?
always.
What's best for business, right?
Best for business.
Instead of not listening to the fans, got Mr. Rock. No, listen to us.
We'll get into that. But before we do, first and foremost, just want to say thank you again for everybody who's joining us live right now. And if you guys have anything that you want to ask us while we're on stream, feel free to drop in the comments. Matter of fact, the comments are live anyway. Feel free to just drop anything in the comments.
Right.
We'll read them out loud if you guys drop anything anyhow. But moving on to the subject matter at hand, since you mentioned The Rock. Let's talk about the never-ending story.
Yes,
that is Cody.
The smack is coming.
Motherfucking
Oh,
Let's
what's
get
that swear, Joe?
That's two. So,
Sorry, though. You got my beer and cigarettes for the day.
you said you're out of beer and cigarettes? Oh, don't worry. You know what? Dad's got you. Don't worry, son.
So-
What? Do we need milk too while we're at it? Do we need milk? I can go and get milk too.
No, Mr. Kurt
Okay.
Angle. No, Mr. Kurt Angle.
I ain't say nothing about no Kurt.
So
I'm just kidding. I love you, Kurt.
we love you, Kurt. We love you, Kurt. Man, I swear. If anything that excited me the most this weekend is me keep watching these clips of the WrestleMania kickoff. Oh my goodness!
The press conference.
Yes.
Oh,
Like
okay. So
oh my god.
Before you go into it, let me start by saying, ladies and gentlemen, I have not actually watched the press conference. I have not watched a clip of that promo from the press conference. You showed me a bit of it, but I, for the most part, know about the press conference from all the wrestling news media outlets and sources that I usually listen to and watch. The usuals: Fightful, Wrestle Talk, good old Uncle Nelser. The usual suspects. And also Under the Mat Radio, good old Tech. Hey Tech, how you doing, brother? But this whole situation with Cody, and I started to tell you my thought and opinion about this, and I'm now going to go into detail for you so that you understand my whole outlook on Cody. First and foremost, the route that they're taking with this whole entire put the Rock in, then take the Rock out to make Cody a bigger babyface, it's all done by design because they're trying to make him the new age Daniel Bryan. There's two things wrong with the scenario. One, you can't make the new age Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan got over naturally,
Right.
and Cody was already over like Rover, so you didn't do jack shit.
Nothing.
All you did was piss the fans off for 2 weeks. That's it.
2 weeks.
And then finally said,
still pissing them off.
Yeah, still pissing them off. 2, the whole reasoning behind The Rock coming out and facing and staring down Roman, and them teasing that this is the idea, this is the Mania match that you're going to get. The reasoning for it was that they wanted to create buzz around the product to distract from another situation. Now, that situation's been dominating the news all month long. We won't spend any time talking about that shit today.
Did he do it? Did he do it?
Did he? Didn't he? Is it legal? Is it not legal? Well, she signed a legal binding document.
She signed a grill in the area.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff with that I don't want to get into because there's no serving anybody in that conversation. There's no making anyone happy, even if you're just speaking your mind, your thoughts, your opinions with the information that you got in front of you. Because at the end of the day, it's her side, his side, and everybody in between.
Yeah.
And Laurinaitis is a person who I don't value much of anyway. He's at this point trying to save his own tail because of who he's married to. That's what you gotta know.
He's a genuine asshole.
Yep. And Bruce Pritchard put out a statement this week.
Brock Lesnar, you are too.
Yeah, and Bruce Pritchard put out a statement this week, and he said it in a said something
Brock.
very interesting, and that is that we will see our great legal system do its job.
Yeah, failed it all.
Meaning that either he knows something more about the situation than he's willing to let on, which is fine. He can't talk about it. It's a legal matter. He's part of the company. It makes sense. Or he has a gut feeling about what's going on, and he just doesn't want to state his opinion because he doesn't want to get caught in anybody's crosshairs. Now, either way is fine, right? I mean, at the end of the day, he really can't talk about it. It's a corporate thing. He can't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the fact that he said it that way makes me think that he truly believes in Vince's innocence. So, now, I don't know who to believe because, Vince has a track record, right? And this is something that I talked with another buddy about. If you guys have seen any of our live stream gameplays on the game room, you will know the name Bolton Linguini. Me and him talk wrestling stuff all the time. We had a conversation about this.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I will admit that he is absolutely right about is that Vince does have a track record for these things following him throughout the years, from the rape allegations back during the 80s, from the Ring Boy situation. You got the Sable situation, but let's be real, we all know that one was falsified because Sable just was mad she wasn't getting her money. But there is the China situation with her getting cancer, and from one of her matches, like, she got hit so hard it created a cancerous lesion in her chest, and the company didn't help out. So we know that's a real thing. There's evidence to back that one up. But these things tend to follow him around quite a bit. And some of that might be because of either one, the company he keeps, or two, his actual behavior. It's hard to say which one it actually is. I'm somewhere where I'm in the middle ground where it might be both. Because in my mind, people with money, they go crazy.
Yeah.
But they also, at a certain point, people with money, they kind of forget the type of people they should have around them, as opposed to the people that they do keep around them. And sometimes those people are the ones who cause you the issues, because they're the ones who you value something in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're also the ones who take the dagger and twist it. So, again, I don't really have a horse in this one, but I have an opinion. My opinion is that there's just a lot of things in both sides where I can poke holes in both sides' stories. So clearly, both sides are lying, in my opinion, about some stuff. The question is who's lying the hardest?
Woo!
That's
Woo!
my question.
Woo!
So once you answer that question, then we know who's in the right and who's in the wrong.
Right.
So that being said, the real reason for bringing all that up, though, in this being the whole Cody story, Sanaga, is this: you do all this, you try to make Cody your golden boy, which he already was when he came back, and then you go through these hoops and ladders so you could get attention away from the Vince situation, which you didn't need to do. All you need to do is push Cody and let Cody be Cody, and then maybe put Bailey on the advertisements.
Right.
And then build properly. Because let's be real, once we're in this part of Mania season, This is where some of the storyline builds start to fall off a little bit and become nonsensical. They started making sense up to a point, and then right around here is where it starts falling off. But then Mania comes around, we forget about that because the match was so good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless the match was terrible, and then we're like, this whole thing was stupid. But, and you guys know what matches I'm talking about.
Right.
2 of them are Roman Reigns matches.
And look, all my hardcore fans, we know these situations. We've seen it so many times.
So many times.
So many times.
But
and my own words, we're going to see it this year too on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We're going to see it.
Oh yeah. But if you want to keep this whole Vince thing out of the headlines so that it's not affecting the company as much, even though you've already scrubbed Vince out of the company, he's still tied to it. Why? He still has shares. Why does he still have shares? Because he had majority share before the merger happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got something closer to, I think it's like 11 or 12% shares now.
Mm-hmm.
It might even be 16, but I'm lowballing it in case I'm wrong about that.
Long story short, just good luck trying to buy that man out.
Yeah, because he's not going to sell.
He's not going
to sell. He'll sell his stock and get extra money in his pocket. Or he sells the shares back to the company. Let's be real. And in case in point, y'all had to talk him into stepping down.
Right.
For those of you who don't know, he had an ironclad contract that said he could not be fired. He could only leave upon death or upon his own wanting to leave. The company had to talk him into leaving. That's what you gotta know.
Case in point, all of a sudden the scandals are coming out. They had to blackball his ass to get out. They had to extort him.
I don't think they did. You know what I think they did? You know how I think this went down? I think this went down differently. I don't think they extorted him. I think what happened is that you had one businessman to another. And he went, look, you see what the company's looking like right now, right? You see our stock? That means that your shares are about to mean less for you if this keeps up.
Mm-hmm.
If you leave, you get to keep that. I'm assuming that this is probably what his shares probably round out to be. I could be wrong. But it's probably somewhere in the ballpark of at least like 4.3 mil in his shares. So imagine watching 4.3 mil dwindle on a weekly basis because your stock is plummeting because of you. That's a lot of money to be losing on a weekly basis, people. Yeah. So better to leave and keep the stock at a higher level and keep your money and make sure that the business survives, because there's always a chance that he ends up being innocent in the court of law and then he can come back, right? There's always that chance. And if you're a wrestling fan, you know when it comes to anything in wrestling, you never say never. And one thing that I will always say is for certain in wrestling is that card is subject to change. Vince McMahon will always be part of WWE in some way or form. Yeah. And the women's division will always be up and down because nobody will know how to book it straight the whole way through. And that's just a fact.
That was like, except for Triple H.
Nope, because he's to blame right now. He's been in charge, and the women's division has still been on a bit of a flip-flop.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, certain people are looking good, but only certain people. Like, not the whole division as a whole. There was a year when he first took over, and the whole division looked good. Now he's back in control. Why are we not seeing that same thing again?
That's because, some of these females that's being caught up now, they weren't really ready.
Well, you know whose fault that is.
And by being that, the hands and the chains of guards was changing during that time. It was kind of, everything was moving like this, and everything was being rushed. Still, everything's trying to be rushed because once again, there's a whole new ruling change of guards going on now, and it's like they're trying to figure out some shit, some stuff, to make their division better. And it's like, and the way I'm seeing it, it's really the females who's actually taking control of their own self, of the division themselves, making it into something. Because Stephanie gone for right now. That's why I was getting better. Because Stephanie was there.
You know what? Stephanie was the lobbyer. You're right about that. And since she's not there lobbying right now.
Right, Stephanie had a direction. And it was working.
Yeah, but what's the excuse for Triple H being there? And he's the head of creative, and he's the one who made women's wrestling in WWE actually a thing through NXT. When you go back and look at all that NXT booking that he was a part of and only he was a part of, look at how all these girls came out.
Once again, it was
and good old Sean is continuing that trend.
It's a rush.
So why are you suddenly?
It's a rush factor now. Because think about
even
job,
with the rush,
his job is on the fence now. Ever since TKO came into the mix.
So his job was more secure at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think.
And then
what became the issue?
Then come to find out who hands is really in TKO.
So here's what
it becomes a nutcracker.
Okay, so here's what I'll say about that scenario.
That's and you know I haven't said his name yet, and we're talking about him right now. And we're talking about the guy.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say about that part of the situation. Triple H was safe at first, but since now the new information has come out that certain other people were involved in this whole thing, he's now being looked at with a fine-tooth comb again.
Yep.
Like, it's bad enough he
just came out of this dark hole with being a Vince McMahon.
Yeah, and the whole thing with him doing that press conference after Royal Rumble, that did not help him in the slightest.
Right.
His words did not help him in the slightest. He So he did a fourth grade me. Where you stand up and you just start talking and you don't realize what you're saying as opposed to what's being asked of you. The teacher asked me what was 2 times 4, and I started talking about the episode of Power Rangers from the other night. That's what happened with me. This was worse. Because he literally just tried to avoid the question altogether. I at least just got up one day and just started talking. And when the teacher said, "That's nice and all, but that's not what I asked you. What's 2 times 4? Huh? Oh, I don't remember." And he walked off. I at least admitted it. Sat down. Took my L. This man just... It's been a really great week. It's been a really great weekend. A really great night. It's like, no, it hasn't. It hasn't been a great week at all. You guys just lost millions. What you mean? You can't say stuff like that without thinking, bro. You can't.
Okay, go ahead.
What's up? Oh, good old Ross. So, yes, the women's was amazing. Actually, he's so Ross Baltimore is talking about the Women's Royal Rumble. He thought that it was absolutely amazing. I was able to see some of the highlights of that Rumble.
Is that my bro? I got
most likely.
Some Mr. Ross Baltimore.
And also states that Maxine Dupree's head must be amazing. And now, after reading that out loud, I wish I didn't read that out loud. And to that I say, I don't know. I'm not a wrestler in the back. I'm not her boyfriend nor her husband.
Hey, it might be.
I mean,
I think so too.
You know what? She might do have some good hair, but I'll never know.
Right.
I'll never know.
I've never seen
That's
that.
because I'm married.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
You might find out one day.
Yeah, when I'm divorced, depressed.
you might just find. But anywho,
trying to get me in trouble.
But yeah, man, I like.
So here's the question now, for the Cody situation specifically, ignoring the fact that, you know, the whole thing's built to try to gain attention to the product and away from the Vince McMahon thing, which clearly isn't working because Vince McMahon was once again taking over the news again today, because of the Bruce Pritchard thing. So, what do you do with this part of the story? Do you do the right thing and finally let him finish the story? Or do you have him lose yet again?
No. It depends,
because I'll give you two answers, and I'll give you my answer, and I'll give you the WWE answer.
It depends because, one, my head's starting to hurt because, once again, I don't know what is the legitimate finalized blueprint of this match. Because, okay, you have...
Oh, it's going to be a smosh finish. Because you got Dusty's kid involved.
You got The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going against Roman. Well, Roman chose The Rock. All of a sudden, Cody has a second, I guess you want to say, a second hard opinion on the situation at hand. Because I guess he feels as though The Rock tried to play him a little bit. On a side note, when they had that little run-in, they had that little conversation
the way they're doing the story, that's what it seems like, yeah.
But then, all of a sudden now, The Rock just slapped the man like he owed, like the man owed him some money from a back pay of a trick he had to take care of it, dude. And then now it talks about, oh, we might do a Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth, or the way I'm looking at it is gonna be a Triple H and Cody versus The Rock and Roman.
Yeah, I don't see that one, but
because The Rock just went savage on Triple H.
Oh, yeah.
And Triple H, he kind of went savage back, but The Rock went savage on Triple H.
So the Triple H one isn't going to happen, and that is because of Triple H's health specifically.
Huh? Can't say that
one. Hand pink waving. Nope. 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 Children. Nope. Uncle Serge is not touching that one with his 28-foot pole. So I don't see the Triple H thing happening just because of his health.
Yeah.
If we've learned anything, that cardiac.
Yeah, that's nothing to play with.
Yeah, that's not. He's not getting back in the ring. However, Seth Cody could happen still, for sure. I think that's your SummerSlam. I think that tag match is your SummerSlam. I think Seth Rock is a possibility for Mania.
Seth and Rock.
Because how do you... Rock was guaranteed on contract, on paper, his Mania match. I think that's your night one. Seth Rock. Now, does Rock win?
You know he's going to win. Should he? No.
No, obviously. But if the story that we're telling is that Rock is now coming in to basically help reunite everything in the bloodline, because it seems like suddenly everybody's falling in line again since he showed up. So this
Except for Jay.
And this is how you started, because him having the title would now put him on Raw. Where's Jay again?
Raw.
That's how you do it. That's how you start it. Mm-hmm. And then that's where you also add the whole Trinity Naomi situation. So and it all circumvents and stuff.
It'd be like the Wolfpack's version of the Bloodline.
Not necessarily.
It has been. It had to be because think about this. Jay would be the sting in the situation. Think about it.
Reluctantly not wanting to join either side. But here's the thing. There's no side to join. Because, like Rock said, we're all blood. Mm-hmm. So the way he would be looking at this is, at least this is the way I would be looking at the story. You would have a reluctant Jay who doesn't want nothing to do with Roman no more. So it would be a situation of Rock talking him back into the fold. And then maybe the story that you tell later is maybe a Mania or two away from now. You tell the story of Rock approaching his head of the table finally. And that's how you get the split that you're talking about. Pick which side of the family you support. Do you support Roman or do you support Rock? That's where that comes. I think that's when that happens. But right now, no. I think the story you tell is that Rock is here to reunite the family as a whole. And even though Jay doesn't want to be there, he reluctantly ends up joining back, either because Rock convinces him or because Trinity becomes a bargaining card in some way or form. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And that's also how you move them all back to SmackDown. And then you have Rock drop the title back to Seth at some point so that the title stays on Raw.
Why drop it back to Seth? Drop the Cody.
Because
Cody, because Roman's not dropping that title.
Here's what I think could happen. And there's two ways you can do this. Yes, you do not finish the story. That's obviously the WWE answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do not drop the story. Or do not finish the story. Allow this to drag out longer.
But at the same time, yeah, true.
But have Cody maybe not win it off Roman, but maybe he does win it at some point. Win off the person who beats Roman.
I was like this. At first, I was with the idea of this. You have Roman and Rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bam. Okay, cool. That could be night one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But night two,
Roman and Cody.
Say
Now
Roman wins, or no, say The Rock wins, but he has to do night two.
So
then you have Cody win. Cody can finish the story because the whole idea was Cody wants to take everything.
Yeah,
from Roman Reigns, not just the title.
He wants to take the bloodline.
He wants to take everything.
So
how can you do that? You try with The Rock, but then
here's the problem, and this is where I go back to the way they did the whole bit with The Rock.
Right,
messed up.
Yeah, it messed up
because Cody's whole story has nothing to do with Roman personally. It has always been about what's around Roman's waist. Mm-hmm. It's always been about that title.
Right.
It's never had anything to do with
Roman.
Right. So they did that just to have a reason to insert The Rock. That was it. And this is why I said that they didn't have to do it this way. But because they were trying so hard to pull attention away from the Vince situation, they screwed up their own story slightly. Now, the question is do you try to keep up with that little story beat that you added? Or do you backpedal and act like nobody is going to remember it tomorrow? Like they so oftenly do.
Right.
And I think that's kind of where my head is at for WWE at this point. You just backpedal, act like it never happened. Like you so oftenly do.
Just like the fact that Chris Benoit was one of the greatest wrestlers ever, but you want to race him. I had to let that
you know why. You know why. You know why. Like, regardless of the situation, how you feel about it.
If it's some males out here touching them and feeling on females and like everything's okay. Sorry. I had to put that out there again.
All I'm gonna say is right. All I'm gonna say is
right.
All I'm gonna say is this, right? If Vince is found innocent,
I will not say I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all I want to hear. Stick to your guns. Is what it is. But my idea would be this. Just hear me out. Night one, you do the Seth and Rock match, right? And you can go two ways with the way we do this. So if we go to WWE route, right? We do exactly as I said. Rock beats Seth. Roman beats Cody. Both smooth, smash finishes, right? Interference and all. You run the storyline, getting the bloodline back together. You have the Usos somehow stuck in like some weird mixed tag situation, where it's like a bunch of tag teams thrown together. The Usos just randomly end up on opposite sides, but they get like the what was it, the tag team turnbuckles? You remember those? It was like at the end, it was the last two people in the ring were the tag team to go up against the champions. Do that. Force them to have to work together to get the tag titles again. That way, it's still more of the story of Jay being reluctant and everybody trying to talk him like, this is where you're supposed to be. Like, this is fate. You can do that.
But then we're missing on
and on the Cody end,
we're missing on this part though too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, we still got Jay taking on Gunther.
So, foregone conclusion.
I think Jay should
foregone conclusion.
Jay should be the one who dethrones Gunther.
Foregone conclusion. Gunther's gonna hold that title a little bit longer.
Yeah, he is.
Jay's not gonna beat him. I don't want Jay to beat him, and I'm gonna tell you why. Jay chasing after Gunther's title has not been the best told story for him. Specifically, a lot of other people have had a better had a better story told.
Not to cut you off, because right now
Mm-hmm.
Jay don't really have a story right now. His story is he's just chasing title,
right,
chasing fights.
But you know how most people's chase, there's always a little something to it. Like even the Miz chasing after Gunther's title had a little bit more intrigue in it than what they're doing with Jay. And it's not like they couldn't, they just didn't. Like, we all know how good Jay is on the mic. Do y'all remember those earlier Uso Penitentiary promos? Y'all all remember Jimmy, because Jimmy's the front man. What y'all don't remember is that Jay was the one doing the majority of the talking. He's the one. He's the one when it comes to those promos.
Right.
He the one. You could make him do amazing things for this chase. Yeah. Hell, if y'all would have did more with him in those matches against Giovanni Vinci, which I hate that they changed Fabian Eichner's name to Giovanni Vinci. Yeet! What we throwing? What we throwing? See, that's for you people who don't understand where yeet came from. But you could have did more with that match. Because honestly, the two of them together, on paper, that chemistry should have been out the water with the way those two wrestled. Especially Fabian Eichner. And Marcel Bartel is a genius on the mat. You could have told a story there that he literally had an answer for everything that Jay did and that Jay had to gut it out. It's simple, small stuff that you can do to make something more enticing. They just didn't do it.
Right.
The elements are there. They're there. You just got to do it. You know your wrestlers better than we do, at least you should. Why do I know your wrestlers better than you, WWE? Why do I know your wrestlers better than you, Trips? Why?
Because we know. We've been at this for eons.
You're not wrong. We were having these discussions even back when it was Infamil Randy Orton.
We've been going. This been up with us for more than 3 decades.
You know. So
that's what I'm saying, dude. Stop playing. Give me a contract. Just give me a job.
Give us a call. Give us a call.
Right, just
but
work a deal out.
But you take Jay after this Gunther feud, right? And I'm not gonna say that the match with Gunther shouldn't be a good one. It should be an amazing. Because if it's one thing Gunther is good at,
be amazing. It better be amazing.
If there is one thing that Gunther is good at, is taking anybody who's smaller than him and putting them over in the best of ways, or allowing somebody smaller than him to put him over in the biggest of ways. And for those of you who don't understand what I'm saying, you've never seen Walter, not Gunther, but Walter, when he was wrestling IWGP over in UK. You never seen him when he was in Rev Pro. You never seen his match against Will Ospreay. You never seen his match against Zack Sabre Jr. And let me tell you, those matches were a thing of fucking beauty. And if you want something more recent, you never saw his match at NXT against Ciampa. Because Ciampa, that match was exactly how Gunther's matches were on the independents when they were putting him over strong.
Mm-hmm.
That match made Gunther looks so good because the one thing that NXT did a really good job of is building Ciampa up to be a killer. The killer that he's always been on the independents, they made sure he was in NXT.
All right.
When he got in that match and you saw him chop Walter and Walter go and then chop him back and he folds.
What?
That was the moment where everybody in the crowd, and I wish they would have got that crowd shot of the front row.
Let me see if I can reinstate that sound. It went.
Nah.
Oh, right.
That's not a.
Like, no, I can't do it.
I think I got you.
So,
That's still not loud. But that shit, you fine. It's just no way to recreate that sound that you create. Like his chop is louder than Big Show's overhand chop, and Big Show's overhand chop was like a thing of beauty to listen to. We were there live for one of those when we were kids. That spot has never not been good in a live crowd capacity. Like it's so good, but Volter's chops are that over and over and over again, perfect harmony, never changing tempo, never changing speed, only getting vicious and more vicious by the second, and somehow louder than Big Show's chop. Somehow. And on my bucket list of chops to take, yes, Volter is in my top 10 chops to take. When I finally start going back to wrestling shows and doing like meeting up with wrestlers again, he's one of the chops I want to take. One of the other ones I want to take is Roddy Strong. I don't know what's wrong with me. I must not like my chest.
you don't love your life.
You know, he just turns everybody into mincemeat. I love Roddy.
You love your life.
You don't when you do that. You know who else I want to take? Sean Spears. That man's got one chop, and it's a good one. It's a good one.
Wait till you have mine.
I keep asking.
One day.
I'll tell you what. If there's enough people who, and after, either before, during, or after the stream is over, by the next time we come back live for stream, if there's enough comments under this one, in the comments that just say chop, he'll do it. Right? You'll do it? Yeah. We'll do it live.
Yeah, we'll do it live. Matter of fact, if you do that and the views goes up.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on the views.
Like how many?
I'll take the chop live. We'll make it for the end of the stream too. That'll be how we close out the stream. Me just getting chopped up.
Will be the target goal view. Will be the target? Like 1,000 views.
Well, since we're just starting,
right?
Since we're just starting, if we can get roughly anywhere between, because I figure this is a good goal. If we can get between 100 and 500 views, I think that's a good enough target for me to take chops. Now, depending on the amount of views we get, if we get 100, I'll take, we'll say max 3.
3?
I'll take 3.
3.
If we get to 500, I'll take 10. Anything in between, we'll say somewhere between 5 and 8.
So yeah, come on.
5 and 6.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So,
and we're going to do things like this more often too, because like I had an idea, like I want to start, doing things. We get to certain views, or we have our goals. I eat something like I go somewhere, get like some strange weird food that people may want me to eat, and I eat it.
Yeah. And my favorite thing, and this will be something for all of you. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask of a wrestler, don't forget, this man's a wrestler. He wrestles on the indies, but he is a wrestler. If you have questions for this guy about wrestling in general, whether it's backstage stuff, technical stuff, things about how inner workings of matches, his opinion on certain matches, his opinion on certain wrestlers, send them in. We'll make a specific segment every stream called, we'll just call it Time to Ask a Wrestler.
Or BSing with a wrestler.
Yeah, BSing with a wrestler. I like that. So, BSing with a wrestler, and we'll do it every stream, and he will answer your questions pertaining to wrestling specifically.
Yeah, as long as it's nothing dumb. Because I'm not that type of guy who says there's no such thing as stupid questions. No, when it comes to my book, there's definitely a such thing.
You know what? There is a
stupid question.
It's funny you say that because I have one of my favorite demotivationals is there are no dumb questions, but there are a lot of inquisitive idiots. That is my favorite demotivational.
Yes.
But that being said, I think we are at time for this one. Unless you want to go a little bit longer. We could. I mean, technically, I think we're really at an hour and 20. We want these to be 2-hour streams. Why would we fault on the first one, right?
Yeah.
So let's fill the gap. So, because we're gonna also talk more about other things outside of wrestling, I got something I want to talk to you about. And people at home, feel free to join this conversation however you will. So, we were in a car on the way over here to the studio. We're listening to NERD. We're listening to
porno crap.
the song. It's funny that you say that because the song is called Tape You. And at the end of the song, because it's the original version of the album, which a lot of people don't know, there's actually 2 versions of NERD's first album, In Search Of. There's 2 versions of it. In the original version, before they did the second version, they kind of like, I guess the best way would be perfected and clean the material for it. And trust me, I'll play some of both. I'll play one song from each for you later. I can't do it here because I don't know how we're going to get hit for that.
Right.
And I don't want to affect your revenue.
Right.
But later we'll do this. And I'll let you see the difference in the songs. And you can tell me what the differences are. And I know because you're a music person, you'll figure that out quickly. But this does now bring up something interesting. Because he's the part he's talking about in the song is that at the end of the song, in the original version, there's basically the sound of 2 females moaning for like a whole 2 minutes.
So
and then he says cut again. Then Pharrell says cut. And he goes, want to go again? And it's funny that you say that, right? Because I can remember songs from our childhood from other artists who did the exact same thing. Do you remember the one? Do you remember the one Biggie album where it's him? It's supposed to be him and the one chick having sex, and it's just her sitting there screaming, moaning, cussing him out, calling him fat motherfucker, and all this other stuff. And then the bed breaks, and that's the end of the skit. You got Soleil. You remember the intro to her album is essentially supposed to be her masturbating. So she's just sitting there doing nothing but moaning.
Janet Jackson. I just want to kiss you, touch you.
I mean, she literally did a song called called Tightrope. What's the lyrics? Tie me up, tie me up. And basically gave a man a lap dance and made him cream his pants on stage in a concert.
I heard moaning in the background in that song too.
In a lot of songs of hers, actually.
Yeah.
Little Kim.
It's so nasty, yes.
Little Kim has done it so many different things. I can't even point out one specific one right now, which is hilarious. Actually, I think it was Little Kim on that Biggie album too who was doing the talking. I never was able to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that was her.
It was.
Just because of voice.
It was. That's how she got her shine.
Really? I thought it was because of the other things she did.
She did other things.
Yeah, that she did.
Sorry, Kim. I'm not sorry. It's true.
I mean, that same for Trina.
Okay, that was acceptable. I mean, of course. Look where she's from.
Yeah.
Those hoes are nasty. And Florida.
Hey, you know what?
And I love it.
You know what? That's what I was about to say. I'm like, you know what? You love it, though. Everybody I know who lived in Florida for a time loves it.
But that's only why, because that's why I go out in Florida for that type of stuff. They come back and be okay.
Hilarious.
After a good, thorough, clean wash and a doctor's trip, not Dr. Miami. I come back home, go to the doctors. No, I won't go to no damn Miami doctor.
Who's somebody more recent that's done it? Oh, Trey. Trey Songz.
Yeah.
He has a song. What's the name of the song?
Who hasn't?
I'm trying to think of the name of the song right now, and I can't think of
It's
it.
an era
I
of.
can just remember the chorus. We'll make the beat together. I'm saying don't,
I mean, of
no,
course.
don't go.
This is the era of booty holes being brown and females' private areas are pink.
You act like that's never been a thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, my girl, Adina Howard. Can't forget Adina, sexy Adina. Hey, Adina Howard, if you're watching this, you know, look, I know I'm married, but still, I fucking love you. You were my childhood all day, still is.
I got
still
some
is.
things to get off my chest right now since I got the platform.
About Maya.
Sexy.
About Maya again.
Sexy
Is
red.
it about Maya again?
Sexy red.
It's about Maya again, isn't it?
You still look like Roger. From American Dad. But take it as a good thing.
Sure.
Cause from a certain angle, yeah, I'll tap that, but now
You said she looked like Roger.
I'm gonna need a lot of trash bags and trash coats.
I can't keep a straight face after that. Oh man. Oh, that fucking popped me. Oh man.
I mean, just like Ice Spice. You look like you got Down syndrome, babe, but I mean, you can still get it.
Okay. So this is where I'm gonna break for a second, right? Because
she looks artistic.
I've now heard the name Ice Spice 4 times. I've never looked it up who she is.
Look her up, and you understand why I say.
Because you know I don't do the social media thing. So.
If you look her, you understand why I say she look like she.
So this is one of those things that I have to see it. Hold on, let me. So we're gonna do this live, right, folks? I'm gonna get on this computer real quick. I'm gonna type in Ice Spice, and we're gonna see what this is about.
She look like fucking look like Betty Boop, big ass eyes, with Down syndrome. See, she looks retarded. I'm sorry. She not said that word.
Bad word. Cleaner image.
But she still get it, man. She's not bad looking. She's slow. She looks slow.
Funny.
She even looks slow.
You know what's funny?
She promoting.
She looks like so. This is why I'm saying this is funny. She kind of a little bit looks like somebody else. Only a little bit.
No, she look like one. Look, she could be one of the characters from all the Powerpuff Girls.
Bro.
she
looked like Princess Moorbucks.
Powerpuff Girl. That's what I'm saying. She looks like a Powerpuff Girl.
No. She looks like Princess Moorbucks. Specifically Princess Moorbucks. Like, she's got the same resting bitch face and everything. Actually, you know what? That's also who she looks a little bit like. Billie fucking Eilish.
Don't disrespect Billie Eilish like that.
No. They both got that same fucking resting bitch face. They fucking do. They fucking do.
Disrespect Billie Eilish like that. Billie Eilish looks better than that travesty.
I don't know, man. The only difference is that Billie Eilish got long hair and is white.
The only thing that saves Ice Spice, she's got butt.
Hey,
that's possibly hers.
I'm gonna repeat something that Cat Williams said that I believe to be a firm truth about men and booty. When you see booty walking through a club, tar into a back iron is out this mother.
Indeed, it does for some damn reason.
Oh man,
folks, who's it?
Oh, correct me if I'm wrong.
Hey, Corey Ray, I'll let your boy, all right?
I'll let your boy.
Corey Ray, you is one fine piece of thing. Then I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry for talking to your daughter like that. But hey, she is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman, and I'm going to take her up.
I mean, it's Benzino though.
So what? Benzino ain't nobody.
That's why I said it. It's Benzino though.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were live.
It is what it is.
But
It's
Eminem, the
busy.
dust.
He already did.
Eminem,
He already
dust-
did. He already
dust-
did.
The dust Benzino.
He already did.
Benzino's career was trash before
Eminem stepped in there.
Before it was right.
His career was trash.
His
before it
career was
destroyed.
trash when he brought out the source.
Oh man. Speaking of, did you ever read the source? Because I never read the source.
I never read that piece of crap.
Double XL all day.
Only time I read it was when they had Eminem on the cover that one time.
Better than me.
And that's only because Eminem was on the cover.
Like I said, better than me. Double XL. Double XL.
Right.
Oh man. And then
Well, it was
Toni Braxton. That's what I was about to go into. Toni Braxton.
That fine piece of thing.
What is her age now? What is she?
Fine.
Yes. Exactly. Not a lick of plastic surgery on that woman. She aged beautiful.
That's the age. That's what is she. That's everything. Fine.
Age fine.
Wine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, I wish you wasn't messing with Birdman. My youth.
Mm-mm.
My youth. Is that how it goes? Is that what a slaughtered pigeon sounds like?
No. That's what
That's what I was getting at that first one. Oh man. But
tell your daughter I said call me.
Don't you start trouble with him.
Tell your daughter to call me.
Don't start trouble with him.
Now that's
Don't start trouble with him.
Have you ever seen Eminem's daughter now?
Well, Haley?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is a very pretty lady.
See him?
Now,
He likes his daughter.
She's grown now. She's a grown adult who is very pretty, and I think she's got a good future, so long as she makes a future for herself, and does not do like many other kids in her position try to do and ride her parents' fame.
She got a great head on her shoulder.
I mean, yeah, she does have him as a parent.
She's got a great head on her shoulder.
Yeah, she has him as a parent. So.
Yeah, great head, right?
Yeah, she has him as a parent. I'm not falling into this trap. He got me once because I read it without realizing what I was reading at the time. You're not gonna get me. Y'all see this setup, right? Y'all right here with me, right? Y'all see this. Y'all see this.
Very beautiful woman.
But no, she's grown pretty girl. And I'm glad that she did try to step out and try to do like the because I don't know if you noticed, but she did actually try to do like the America's Got Talent thing. What'd you say? What'd you say? No? What you trying to do? What'd you say? Say it louder! Stop moaning! You're not gonna get me in trouble. I told you.
What did you tell her to do?
Would I? Yeah, sure. I took the whole family out for dinner. And her, Whitney and Elena too. The whole family.
So you do
the whole family.
So you do some next
The whole family.
So you do some next
No, I take them all out. Like I said,
you do the whole family.
I take the whole family out to dinner. Em and everybody.
You do the whole family.
I can't not take the whole family.
So you cannot do the whole family.
I can't not take the whole family.
You can't take.
Yeah, I gotta take Em.
So
I gotta take Whitney and Elena too.
Pause.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta take the whole family. Gotta take the whole family. And if M decides that he wanted to bring like some of his boys with him too, they can come too. I guess I'm paying because I'm inviting.
Kind of freaky party. You want the whole homeboys to come?
Homies over hosts. That's for my Boondocks fans.
So he wants to take all, right?
That's my Boondocks fans right there.
He wants to take the whole family. He said, yeah, he wants to take everything.
Yeah, do the home.
And his home and
do the home, man. Do the home.
Okay.
Oh man. But on a serious note, no, I'm too afraid to get shot by Royce for that.
All right, guys. No, it goes.
So,
like, subscribe, share,
and like we said, if this one gets anywhere between 100 to 500 views, doesn't necessarily need likes, just views for right now. We're just trying to gauge interest in what we do. So, if that happens, I will eat anywhere between 3 to 10 chops, depending on how many views it's at. And I think that is a mighty fine goal to set for our first stream, going into the second one. Don't you?
Yep. I'm not talking about no regular chops. I'm talking about the good old fashioned crisp and wild chop. You feel me?
Oh, are you gonna give me the sound effect with it too? You're gonna give me the yeah. I'm not gonna do it. Nah, I want the yeah when you do it. Got it? Yeah. All my Ben White fans know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. I want to hear it. If it's a Ben White chop, I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Yeah,
but
it's a great night. Thank y'all for showing up.
Thank y'all for showing up. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the comments there. Good old Ross Baltimore. Everybody, we will see you again soon. Thank you for joining us here at Cult House.
In the building, baby.